Hi, I'm Diana. Welcome back for part 2 of 3 of things you never thought to do with a scarf. There's 3 parts because I have too much to talk about. Let's go. It's winter and there's no better draft stopper than a silk scarf. Now, you might be thinking of a scarf as an accessory, but sometimes I like to think of it as an extension of my clothes, where I might have a crew neck like this, but it really would feel better if I had something around my neck. So what I want to do is complement the color of my sweater, but I want to go even wilder. And that's what scarves are great for, adding a lot of color and pattern to your outfit. Depending on how you tie it too, it changes so much. So we're going to be using my giant ultralight scarf named Asia. This is new in my store. Super big, as you can see. Also, super lightweight, so we can fold it a lot and it won't cause a lot of bulk. Asia is 39 inches by 39 inches. Okay, again, you fold it diagonally like a triangle and then wrap it up, roll it up from the bottom tip to the top flat part. In part 1, we talked about why ultra light silk scarves are great for rolling, because they roll up so thin and you can wrap them so many times without them being all huge. Wait till you see this one. That was a big scarf, right? But now that it's all wrapped up, it's teeny tiny and it feels amazing. Okay, we're not going to roll this one. We're just simply going to pick the triangle we want to show off. I want this hummingbird side. And I'm just going to give it a couple folds down from the flat part, just to kind of rein in some of the size. Now it's this small, and I'm going to tie it around my neck in this manner. And then I'm just going to tie it right on top. And I'm going to tuck these in. And now I have this pretty, colorful turtleneck on my sweater, keeping me warm and cozy, and it's beautiful and feminine at the same time. And the great thing about silk scarves in the wintertime is sometimes wool sweaters can be the tiniest bit scratchy, or maybe if you're super sensory avoidant, sweaters always feel weird. So silk scarves can really create a nice buffer between the sweater and your skin. I love a turtleneck in the wintertime, but what I love even more is for this in here to feel soft. I love the way a scarf looks in between here and here. Like you think you're done with your turtleneck sweater look. You're not done. You can add a scarf in between. Let's go with this scarf from my store called Hazel. And this is going to be the perfect addition to this light pink sweater. And you just want to give it maybe one tie and then just tuck the rest in down the back. I mean, 2 ties so that it's a knot, soft knot. And then just tuck it in. And look how much prettier that is. And then you can choose which flowers you want to show. Let's show some pink and some yellow. I love it, and it feels amazing. So when it comes to winter time, a lot of people are thinking that they need their big woolen scarves out in the cold. And a silk scarf can be substituted for a big woolen scarf, and it will still keep you plenty warm, and it will look way prettier. So let's use the Fiona scarf. And this is a large twill scarf. This is not the ultra lightweight. You know, if you're trying to stay a little bit cozier in the winter time, I'd go with a thicker weave like twill. And I love the bright colors this adds. This always feels right in winter. The bright colors really brighten up the gray landscape. And just tie it in a really big way like this. Let it be fluffy. Part 1, I called this a kerfuffle. And this is not me telling you again how to wear a kerfuffle, which is not a word I made up. It's just a term I made up. It actually means something else, but not anymore. And in the wintertime, this silk scarf keeps me cozy warm. It protects me from drafts, and it adds so much life to my outdoor weather look. And it's just so pretty. Silk scarves add a glow that really is irreplaceable. And it adds a glow to your skin. It just makes people who are wearing silk scarves look more beautiful. That's why I got into this. They're magic. For example, we're going to use a cotton scarf instead. It's a fine scarf. I bought it in Paris on a whim because it was like $4. and it adds a lot of volume. It's a fine scarf. It's a fine choice. It's just not this. Also, if you don't feel like scarves look good around your neck, you could wear one as a bracelet. For this example, we are going to use my Ani scarf, which is 20-inch square. And again, triangle, fold it from the bottom tip up toward the flat end to create a rolled tube. Roll it in a way so that the middle shows the colors that you want to show. For me, I want this strip that has pink and light purple and yellow and green. And you simply could just tie it around like a cuff, maybe 2 wraps. I think it's going to take 3 wraps. And yeah, okay, I got 3 wraps around my wrist, and I'm going to give it a little tie. And then I'm going to take that knot and I'm going to tuck it in so these things aren't flying all over the place or getting in my food. Just tucking it underneath. Now, I'm not really like trying to show this off, but what I want to do is just kind of leave it poking out of my sleeve like this for like a little bit of extra zhuzh, a little bit of extra winter style. Do you see that? And when I'm doing things, it just pops out a little bit, and it's so pretty and so glowy, and it's just a beautiful little accent. So if you want to enjoy your scarf, but you don't like them around your neck, this might be a good alternative. This is another chance for you to use your scarf ring. Okay, once again, you have your little tube of fabric. You're just going to put it once around your wrist, like that. Here's your ends. Put your scarf ring, or put your ends through your scarf ring. I pulled it through the scarf rings, and now I'm going to take either end and pull it back toward where they began. And then I'm going to tie it. Okay, and I'm going to tuck it underneath as well. So I have a sort of silk scarf bracelet. And this one I would want to show off a bit more. I could have made that less bulky. I'm in a hurry. So the reason I wanted to put that one in there is because there's an awful lot of you who watch these scarf videos and you're like, but I don't look good in a scarf. And I know that you desperately want to wear your scarves because you watch these videos still. So I'm going to say something for you to maybe enjoy your scarves more. And that is that if you don't feel good in them and you don't feel right when you're out in public and you always end up taking them off, that's okay. It doesn't mean that you won't be able to enjoy them. Just enjoy them in the car. Keep some of them in the car, keep them in the glove box, and use them to protect your skin from sun exposure. Or just simply enjoy them in the car. Enjoy the way they feel. Feel fancy. You don't have to look any way for anyone. You can just enjoy your scarf for yourself. And then remove it at your destination. Whatever, be fancy scarf in the car lady. Here's another knot around your neck idea. If you have watched my other scarf videos, you may have seen me tying a scarf around a headband. And I really just wanted to tell you that you're going to be more successful with this if you use, first of all, an ultra lightweight scarf like crepe or like super thin silk, because they wrap up so much lighter and neater. So for this one, we're going to use a slightly sheer long scarf. And you might have to take a couple tries to get the lengths right, but what we're trying to do is leave a little bit at the ends to tie under the hair. We're going to tie a knot here at the end of the headband so that this end that's sticking out points downward, okay? And then as flatly as possible, I'm going to start wrapping this around the headband with the least amount of overlap possible to keep the bulk low. Okay, actually this turned out just fine. I don't have to redo it, but I am going to tie a little knot at the other end as well. You may end up with wildly different ends, and that just means give it another try. But these are pretty even. So now I have a headband that looks like a scarf, and I can tie these underneath, and it looks like I have just tied a scarf around my head and it just magically is able to stay. Everybody knows that they've tried to put a silk scarf in their hair like this without a headband and it did not stay. But this is one way of getting that look and making it stay. And it's very pretty. These are great for bad hair days because people don't even think you're hiding a bad hair day. They just think you're showing off your cute hairstyle. Okay, that's it for part 2. If you want to watch part 1, that's down in the description below, and part 3 will be next week. Yes, I still have more to say about silk scarves. I'll see you soon, next week.